Welcome back to K-Astrology, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kaylin, and today I'm going to be doing your February 2021 horoscope. I also do monthly tarot predictions for all 12 zodiac signs, along with pick a card readings. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. Now, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description box below, so please feel free to jump straight to your sign. For those of you who are sticking around, I'm going to quickly run through your sun, moon, and rising sign horoscopes and how they differ, okay? Your rising sign, otherwise known as your ascendant sign, will always be the most overall accurate horoscope for you. It does not matter how much you identify with that rising sign, okay? You could be an Aries rising, but you're a Cancer sun and you feel more like a Cancer. That's fine. The Aries rising horoscope will be the most accurate for you. Now, with your sun horoscope, this will pertain to your conscious will and your career and any goals and ambitions that you have. Your moon sign will be in relation to, your moon sign horoscope will be in relation to all relationships in your life, your emotional state, and your living circumstances. As I said, the rising sign will be the most accurate and will encompass all of those aforementioned things. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around for this intro. You can now head to your timestamp in the description box below. Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome to your February 2021 horoscope. The month begins with Mercury being retrograde in your 5th house in the sign of Aquarius. Mercury will be retrograde from the 31st of January through to the 21st of February. And anytime Mercury is retrograde, we start rethinking and reevaluating the themes of the house that it is transiting. So with your 5th house, this is directly concerned with the following: your hobbies and passions, your business, if you have your own business, your love life, and children. So I'm going to break down those 4 categories a little bit more for you and explain how this Mercury retrograde can impact those areas. With regard to your hobbies and passions, a hobby that you had or something that you used to love doing but you haven't done for ages, maybe even years or maybe even since you were a child, can suddenly re-enter your life. You can pick it back up and start exploring this passion that you used to have, and it can really reinvigorate your creativity as a whole. And for some of you, your existing hobbies and passions, you might start thinking about them in a different way, and you might even be considering how you can turn these into business opportunities and even make money off of the things that you enjoy and love doing the most. On a different level, this can be a super creative time for you if you are an artist, a writer, a musician, even if you are a sporting athlete or an actor or an actress. This can be such a creative period for you, and you can also see opportunities in relation to these artistic endeavors re-enter your life. So you could get a second go at a part if you're an actor or an actress, or you could actually be picking up a creative idea that you had but that you tabled for a while. So in regard to your business, you could be restructuring the company or making changes to how you operate your own business. And this will be a business that you yourself created, because the 5th house rules anything that we create. This isn't you working for another person or having a boss. This is your own business, as I've said. Now, you may actually have pushed the pause button on a business which you created a while ago, and it could have been due to not having the time or the energy to put into it. And all of a sudden, you've decided that you actually want to start this up again. You know, maybe you had your own blog or your own little shop, and you canceled the lease, and now you want to reopen and give it another chance. On a completely different level, in terms of your love life, an old flame may reappear from the past, and this can occur despite whether you're in a new relationship or not. So just keep an eye out for randomly hearing from any ex flames. And some of you may actually, who are single, I mean, maybe you're not, you don't have to be single, but maybe this person coming back into your life has made you start reevaluating your existing relationship, and you might actually want to give this person and this relationship a second chance. On a different level, it could be you who is reaching out to an old lover and, you know, just seeing where they're at, sliding into their DMs and, you know, seeing if you guys can give dating another shot. Now, on a totally different level with your relationship with your current partner, you could be having issues or miscommunications that need to be dealt with, and they're really brought front and center into your relationship sphere, and you're sitting down having to discuss these things which are a bit uncomfortable. It could be something that you're unhappy with, it could be something that they're unhappy with, it could be your sex life that you're discussing. And also Mercury retrograde can see the end of relationships occur. So, you know, if it's a relationship which has been quite rocky for a while or built on an unstable foundation, you may be saying goodbye to this relationship. Now, lastly, with regard to children, you could be discussing with your partner whether you want children or not, and actually coming to the opposite state of mind from whence you came, okay? So some of you maybe never ever wanted children, and now this Mercury retrograde has totally changed your mind and your stance on this. On a different level, maybe you've always wanted children and you're like, actually no, you know, that's not a part of my course in life. That's not something I want to do anymore. So on a different level with children, maybe you were trying to get pregnant, you and your partner together, and you stopped for ages, but now Mercury retrograde is seeing you two trying once again to have a child. And perhaps you didn't want to, maybe you have children and you didn't want to have any more children, and all of a sudden you're like, actually, I want another kid, let's go. And lastly with this, if you do already have children, and they're, you know, a bit older or certainly old enough to communicate with you, you can unfortunately see some miscommunications occur. But on a positive note, if you are estranged from one of your children, especially if it's your firstborn child, you can actually have a chance at re-establishing this relationship, whether that's you reaching out to them or you suddenly hearing from them out of the blue. So that's a real positive that can occur as a result of this transit. Now, on the 2nd of February, we will see Venus entering the sign of Aquarius in your 5th house. Venus is a planet which brings healings and blessings and is very creative in nature. So this will really light up your creativity sector, okay? If you are in the artistic, in the art industry or the music industry, you know, you can be enjoying a very fruitful and creative period with Venus here. You can certainly just be enjoying more date nights with your partner, maybe going to some parties or celebrations. You know, Venus changes signs every few weeks, so it doesn't have to be a big deal, but you can certainly enjoy that area of your life a little bit more. Now, on the 12th of February, there will be a new moon in Aquarius in your 5th house once again, and this will be at 23 degrees. So new beginnings always indicate a new chapter beginning in your life, and it's really about planting the seeds of this new chapter over the next 4 weeks. So you may not see the result or the culmination of this new moon, new beginning take place for about 6 months or maybe even 18 months. So with the 5th house, this can manifest as a new love interest for you single Libras. And again, you know, maybe you're not single and you meet someone on the side. It can result in you guys taking up a new hobby or getting passionate about a new creative pursuit or artistic venture. Some of you will start your own business, or certainly be, as I said, planning the roots of wanting to create your own business and go it alone and certainly make money off of anything that you are passionate about. And lastly, some of you Libras will be getting pregnant. And if that's not what you want, use protection. What can I say? You guys are fertile at the moment. Now, on the 18th of February, we will see the biggest astrological transit for 2021 occur, and this will be Saturn in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus, and this will be Saturn in your 5th house squaring Uranus in your 8th house. Now, before I break down how this will affect you, Libras, I just want you to note that this transit will actually occur 3 times in 2021. Obviously, the first is on the 18th of February. The second time this transit will occur is on the 15th of June. And the third time will be on Christmas Eve on the 24th of December. So this can affect you in a number of different ways. I'm just going to signpost the 3 areas that I'm going to discuss, and then I'll go into a lot more detail. This can impact you on a psychological level. This can impact you from a creative perspective, and this can also impact your sphere of children, okay? Whether you have your own child or whether you are trying to fall pregnant, these 3 sectors can be impacted, and it could be one, it could be all 3. Now, Uranus rules anything which is swift, any kind of swift upheaval or anything that's shocking in nature. And we can see Saturn as a planet representing anything which is traditional, anything that's concerned with structure and being built on a solid foundation. You could say that these 2 planets are polar opposite in nature, and yet both of them rule Aquarius, which is very interesting. Whatever big drastic change that is going to occur, it's going to be something which aligns you to your higher purpose. Now, to break it down, from a psychological perspective, you could have a sudden psychological breakthrough as shown by Uranus and also Mars being in Taurus in your 8th house. Now, this could actually unplug any kind of creative blockage that you have been experiencing, because the 8th house is our psychological state of mind, and the 5th house, as I said, is your creativity. This could actually see you having a sudden change in perspective in terms of how much you enjoy your life, and this could be born from a depressive state suddenly dissipating, okay? If you have been in a major depressive episode, okay, going through something which is quite traumatic in nature and which has really inhibited you from being able to enjoy your life, enjoy time with your children, or enjoy your romantic life, or even if you've been having issues with intimacy and with regard to your sex life, this can be like a huge rewiring or reprogramming of these particular areas. Now, in terms of your creativity, you could actually need to invest heavily in your business for it to take off, because the 8th house rules, the 8th house is one of your money houses. It rules your mutual resources. It can indicate big spending, and the 5th house is anything which is speculative in nature, and it's really taking a gamble. So you really could be spending a whole heap of money on some kind of Kickstarter program, or even, redoing your work environment and surroundings to be able to support this change, and with you wanting to really have your business be something which is fully fledged and which you earn a lot of money from. On a totally different level, you could have a sudden breakthrough with your existing business, and this can result in a huge windfall for you, okay? So once again, the 8th house being a money house, Uranus ruling anything which is sudden or shocking in nature. You could see a huge lump sum come to you completely out of the blue, which is taking you by surprise. Now, this transit will pose some difficulties and some challenges, so you could have to work through some kind of like legal situation, okay, because Saturn is a planet which rules the law and the court systems. And we've also got Jupiter in Aquarius as well. So there may be some hoops that you have to jump through with regard to your own business on a different level to push yourself further creatively. Which is shown by the 5th house, you may need to come face to face with your fears and confront your demons, okay? Anything which has been holding you back, any kind of trauma from your past or even all the way back from your childhood could actually be impeding your ability to express your self-creativity. The 5th house is certainly related to your self-confidence, okay? So we see a real delicate dance here between expressing yourself creatively, but working through any kind of psychological blockage which is holding you back. Now, moving on to the children component of this transit, on one level, these psychological issues could have been psychosomatically basically being a blocker between you falling pregnant, all right? You may have been to a doctor or several doctors and specialists, and all of them are saying, you know, physically, you're completely fine. You can fall pregnant. There's no issues with you physically. And yet you've been trying for years, or you've been trying for many, many months, and you've tried all these different avenues, and you realize, or you come to realize, that it's actually been a psychological state of mind which is rooted in some kind of trauma or issue which has been holding you back. Libra, I just want to say that as heavy as what I'm saying may sound to you, all of this will be a blessing in disguise, and it's definitely something which is going to align you with your higher purpose. Now, lastly, with this transit, you can see an unexpected pregnancy. The 5th house and the 8th house are both related to conception and birth. So you definitely can have a huge breakthrough in this area. And for some of you, you may have been going through the adoption process and you get great news, okay? Because Uranus is anything which is new, and the 8th house is about birth and children and anything which is unexpected. And obviously we see this 5th house connection here as well. So, you know, you can get a sudden call out of the blue that you weren't expecting, and it can be great news for you. Okay, also on the 18th of February, Pisces season will commence once the sun enters the sign of Pisces. So with your sun being in your 6th house of work, health, and your daily routine, you can really shine in your current workplace. You may start taking your health and well-being way more seriously. And, you know, it is a great time for you to approach your boss for a promotion or even just to be recognized for all of your hard work. Now, on the 21st of February, Mercury will finally station direct in Aquarius, and you can see any miscommunications that you had with your partner or with your children finally being resolved. And again, this being in your 5th house, if you've been waiting on important documentation or paperwork with something to do with your own business, which you own, you can finally see that paperwork arrive, or with these matters being resolved. And 2 more transits on the 26th of February, Venus will enter the sign of Pisces in your 6th house. So you can enjoy work. You can enjoy taking better care of yourself. If you've had to make some readjustments to your diet, or you're trying to incorporate exercise into your life a little bit more, you can actually start doing this with ease with the help of Venus being in your 6th house. Lastly, my beautiful Libras, we have a full moon in Virgo at 8 degrees, and this is in your 12th house. So this is another way that we can see you being impacted at a very deep and psychological level. Having said that, if you are in an industry connected to art, music, science, or even if you work at like a hotel or a spa retreat, you can see a project be complete. You can complete some kind of artistic or musical endeavor or project which you've been working on, And on a much bigger level, if you live abroad, no matter who you are, if you're a Libra Sun, Moon, or Rising, especially my Libra Risings and Moons, you can certainly relocate to a foreign country. And the 12th house rules countries, foreign countries which are very, very different from where we were born, okay? So this wouldn't be you moving from Australia to New Zealand. This would be more of like a culture shock move. And then lastly, Libras, some of you may have a breakthrough with a psychologist or a breakthrough with a tarot reader, an astrologer, someone who does numerology charts, or anyone to do with spirituality or the occult industry. So Libra, that's all I have for you for February 2021. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. I'm going to leave a little link for my February 2021 tarot predictions for all 12 zodiac signs at the end screen after this video. And lastly, enjoy February, and I'll see you guys next month.